Hello friends. So in my other video we talked about how we'd be able to clone the code from the repository, which means we just downloaded the code from the repository. So after that we also set up the new project from the same code that was downloaded on the test without any writing single line of code, right? So let me show you where we're at right now. So there were two folders that I created. Those are empty folders. Inside the demo_base, that's where I downloaded all the code from the repository. Basically, this is the code base for me, which is the exact code that was downloaded from the repository. So I have another workspace folder called demo_workspace. Basically, this is the folder that I simply point this ID to the workspace. If you see, there's nothing here, and if you see here inside, that's where your codes are, right? These are the codes that you are right now seeing into the IDE. So in order to go to the Git, first thing is go to the tree folder. So main folder after the demo base is your local. This is the folder that came from the Git. So you want to go to this location, right click there, and if you have a Git bash downloaded or installed, like I talked about the other video, how to install the Git bash, then you would be able to see this option when you do right click from the folder, and then you're gonna see like this window open for you. Okay, so this is the Git Command Line window, and if you see here, there are a few things for you to observe. So first thing is, it's going to tell you where exactly path you came from. So C drive demo_base, exactly like here, right? And then you have this project over Selenium, that's where you're at. And then there's a master, the one in the blue at the end, that's with the parenthesis. This is called which branch you are right now into, right? So let's go to this. So let's get most up-to-date code. In order to do that, you'll have to now do the git pull. Yesterday we talked about git clone. Git clone is to do only for one time, right? Whenever you want to download the most latest code, basically you want to set up entire your new workspace, then you want to get the code from the repo. For that purpose, you want to do git clone. Okay, so after your project is set up, then furthermore you need to get only the code that is just changed, right? So your local repository here to the left, look at this left, any changes happen into this file or there are more files into the server, then you want to get those files into your local workspace so that you can see them, you can make the changes to them, or you can run the test, or it could be anything. So in order to do that, you'll have to do git pull. Git pull only pulls the differences between your place into the index or the Git repository. So git, git, all small letter, pull, P-U-L-L, okay? Now if you hit enter, and here you see already up to date. This is the message that came from, that means your local repo is up to date to the server. Okay, so server, whatever that Git repository we had, that one and your local space is exactly the same. So there's nothing more for you to pull. That's the one command. This git pull, you might want to do this every hour or every more frequent you can. Okay, because there will be so many team members working into the same project, and they'll be constantly making changes, and there will be so many new stuff coming back and forth, right? It won't be just like this blank. So if you were to make changes, or if you want to get most up-to-date code, which you need to, then you need to use this git pull command very often. Okay, git pull, that's all you do, and hit enter. Okay, now next thing is we're going to talk about how we'll be able to make some changes here, and then we will then post this code into the repository. Okay, so and then we'll also see what changes we made, and then we will also work on how we'd be able to pull the most up-to-date code. Okay, So here you are done with this folder, so I'm going to just take this off. So here this blue, I told you this is the master branch. So let's see, and for you to also check which branch you're in, just do git branch. Git branch basically just tells you which branch you're in. And then there are other command called Git Commit. So for that we need to make some changes into the code, and we will then go from there. Okay. So let's say I want to do some changes here, then I will just let's say I'll just write a new scenario. Okay. I want to just land into the home page, and then I go, let me just remove these steps. So here if you see, I added this line of code into the into my local workspace. Right now this piece is not there. Okay, we want to make sure whatever changes we made doesn't create any errors into the project. That's number one. You need to make sure it compiles and it is successfully testable. It should be testing, or it should be working whatever it's supposed to do. Then you'll be able to push the code. So I made these changes. Before that, let's go and show you what view we can do. So show view, Windows, show view, other. Okay, Windows, show view, other. And you can use this process only if you're using Eclipse. And then you would go git, from git. Okay, from the git, just take the git staging, hit open, and now you will see to the left what changes you made. Okay, sometimes there's some unnecessary files or logs that gets created. You don't need this, so I'll just remove this. Here if you see, these two pages have a changes. So if you see here, unstaged changes, so if you make any single change, even a space, you're going to see this into the unstaged version. So for example, this space is not there. I just make a space changes and I save it. Now you see the changes is here. Okay, so let's see what changes we made here into this file. So first of all, I don't need this, I removed this already. So let's go to first Levy page. Okay, right click. When you do right click here, you have few options here, right? So you want to first make sure what changes happen. So just to compare with the index. Index here means the repository, and if you see here, these are the highlighted items, right? So these highlighted items means that's where the changes are happening. Okay, here you can do first ignore the white space, just right click here, ignore the white space. So now it will remove everything. Basically it has nothing but the white space, right? So we can just ignore that, and then that will just go away. In order to go that, you can just do replace with head revision. That means I don't want to just enter the space, I'm okay with that, I'll just replace it. That will just take that away. So you don't want to just unnecessarily make changes to the files which you do nothing. So you can close that. Basically this is the compare view. One is with the index and one is your local. Okay, so now next thing, let's go to the another file. We have to go one by one. Lenovo page, let's find what the change compared with the index. Also let's see here, looks like it also has nothing but the space, and here you have choices. If you want to keep your local into this, you can just simply get that arrow, or if you just don't want to make the changes, you can just do first make sure ignore white space, see if there's still errors, right? So no changes, otherwise you would see some icon here, so that means nothing happened there either. So you can just replace that with the head revision. Now this is the real changes we have made into the feature file, right? So right click, compare with the index. Here you will see the difference. Here, even if you remove the white space, ignore white space, still you see the changes. See, so that means this is the new piece that you wanted to add into the repository, or this is your local version, your repository has. So there is a difference. You want to make sure your difference goes into the repository so that other team member can pull the code and they can get this code just by using the git pull command. So in order to make that happen, you have to first make sure you are writing the right code, then you are pushing this code. After you push, then your team member would be able to see it, right? Let's do that. So I'm going to just simply push this into the master branch. So git commit. In order to do that, you have to first just drag this. This is the easiest way. So unstaged, staged, you can simply drag this, so it will just add that into the repo. So whatever is staged are only the candidate for, I can just remove that. Whatever are staged is only the candidate for commit. So you can either do from here, you can write the message and just commit, or you can do from the command line. I like using the command line, so I'll just go here, git commit, no space, git space commit space -m. That means for message, you have to always pass the message when you're trying to commit the code. So just whatever message, whatever you try to do, just do that. For me, I'm just doing the demo testing, so I'll just leave it. This is not the real test, but I'm just showing you how you'd be able to push the code. So this is my message. So when you go to GitHub, you'll see this message and who by who. So now once your message is there, you just hit enter. This means you have changed, your changes already there into the master branch. You already committed. Okay, now if you just simply right click here and refresh, this file will be gone because that is already committed. But committed doesn't mean it is already into the server. You have to just push this code. So in order to do that, you have to do git. Always you have to do that. So origin. So origin space master, that is the branch I want to push my code. So git space push space origin space master. As soon as I hit this, based on if you have any authentication, then it will ask for the authentication. If not, you will just see that 100% successful if there's no issues, right? If there's no issues, then it will be 100% successful, then you are done. Now you want to see the same code, if that is there or not. Okay, let's see. So GitHub, let's see where that code goes. So this is the code here. So we just pushed some code here. So that is here, demo testing. If you see, that is the code. We pushed this file. And if you want to see this file, whatever this file was, it will tell about 2 minutes ago, right? And then you can see what changes was here. And then also you can see from wherever your code came from. Also, here's a commit ID. You can simply click here and see what changes you get. So these are the changes. The green ones are the new added lines or new changes. If I was to remove anything from here, that it would show from the red highlighted. So these are the green one. Okay, so then we're all set here. Now if I want to show you something, then let's go here. So my repositories that has, so I have a couple of branches here. So if you see the branch, there are 2 branches, BR. So the one checked is telling me that it's a master branch, but I also have another branch open. That branch, if you see, that does not have the code. So latest code. So if you see, latest code is just 4 days ago. The one we did is not there. So let's try to go to that branch and see what we can do. So here I simply need to do that. In order to do that, I'll have to do git checkout. Okay, that branch name is br dash. I can simply tab, then it will just type the rest. I just need to hit enter. Okay, git checkout, whatever name of that branch is. Now if you see the difference here, in the above one was a master, now it switched to that branch. Okay, in this branch if I switch and I try to pull the code, then I can see the changes. Okay, git pull, there's no changes, right? So whatever changes happened into the master branch was not replicated. So from branch to branch we will have to merge. We'll go to that. So from here I just merged the code from the master branch into the local branch. So now if you see, this branch will also have the code. Okay, so if you see whatever branch we want to go to, branch that, and then if you see the demo testing is into the local branch as well. So now if I go to my git command, but this is only in the repository, I merged there, but my local does not still have that changes, so I need to make sure those are replicated. So now if I do, because earlier when I did from the same branch and I did git pull, it wasn't there because code from the master wasn't sent to the branch. So now I have sent those. Now if I do the git pull, you see the changes that came from this file. Now after I made the pull, my local workspace will then show whatever changes it is. Here if you just notice, the branch is also switched from master to br-0012, and if you see the same feature file, that also has the code here. Okay, so these are the common concepts that you need to understand into the Git. So let's go to the quick recap. First of all, we were able to pull the latest code with the help of git pull, git space pull. That will do only the difference code that will pull only the codes that will difference between the repository. Number two, git commit -m, and then write whatever message you have. Those are related to your changes. And then hit enter, and it will make sure your codes are there. Before that, you have to add them. You can add them with the help of Git staging into IDE. And once those are added, you can commit. After you commit, you have to push the code. While pushing the code, the best practice is you mention the branch where you want to push, because there will be multiple branch across. So you don't want to accidentally push from the different branch, right? And then there are also merging. We'll go through merging into a different video. That's why I did not show you. And we'll also go through some pull requests and all of the stuffs like that in the further videos. So and whenever you see more like new changes came in and we need to git pull, it is going to pull whatever codes are changed inside your local workspace, right? So these are the common things that you need to understand. And if there are any things, any issues that is preventing from being pulled, that means there's some file that you have which is already been changed from the repository, somebody already pushed, and then those files you cannot pull until you make sure your file is correctly committed, and then you resolve them. We'll go through those later. So for now, this video is getting a little longer, so I'm just going to stop here. We'll go to further videos. There's so much interesting other stuff to talk about in the Git. So until then, please continue to follow my videos and subscribe my channel if you have not. Support my channel, and we'll get more interesting stuff into Git. There are more to cover, so I will look forward for my next video. Thank you very much for watching this video, and looking forward to see you soon.